Hello folks, and welcome to another Lone Adventurer playthrough. Today I'm playing through Iron Helm, which is a very popular game amongst solo dungeon delvey style game aficionados, and I'm going to play through it today. But before I do that, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell notification icon if you would like to be updated on when I release new videos, which I do quite frequently, and I hope to continue to do so quite frequently. And if you like this video, I would be delighted if you also hit the like button. With that out of the way, welcome to Iron Helm. Now this is my second attempt at filming an Iron Helm adventure. The first one, the game kicked my butt so completely that and I made a couple of mistakes. And the game kicked my butt. I think by the time I'd finished the first level, I had no weapon. I was down to like 3 health or something, and it wasn't going well. So I've decided to give it another go. I'm going to give you a very quick rundown of what we have got here. It might look like there's quite a lot going on, but it's a remarkably straightforward game in that this deck here dictates everything that we do. Every round, I'm going to draw 2 cards from this deck. You pick one to look at. If you like it, you action that card. If you don't like it, you have the option of actioning the other card, but you can't go back to the first card. So if the second card turns out to be something nasty, you're stuck with it. So it's sort of a push your luck, multiple choice sort of game. Whenever this deck runs out, we complete a level. At the end of every level, we draw a plot card, and the plot cards have got a little symbol on. This little symbol here. And once we have encountered 10 of those little symbols, the game is over. The main stage of the game is over. At that point you face a boss. We've got 3 possible bosses that we can face. They're over here. And yeah, I mean that really is more or less it. Obviously we've got some enemies that we may be facing. We've got some loot and some potions that we may find if we defeat those enemies. Over here we've got some skills and trappings, which is essentially items that you can start with. Your character dictates which trappings and which skill you get. So I've already got my skill and my trappings for my character Moliclan already set up there. I'll show you those in a second. Moliclan has 16 life. I'm going to be tracking that with a dice. Let me just flip that to 16. Where are you, 16? There you are. And he starts with 10 energy, which allows you to do fighting stuff. He has an ability to carry up to 11 weight of items. He starts with 1 ration. If you run out of rations, that's bad. And he starts with 3 gold. And you can spend your initial gold on additional trappings if you wish. And I think I probably will. Let's have a quick look at the items and the skill that we're starting with. So this is my primary weapon. It's in my primary hand. It's got a weight of 2. It allows you to do an attack. Without a weapon, you are severely limited in your ability to attack things. It also has a special ability. I can discard this card to deal 3d6 damage without spending any energy. But obviously that would leave me without a weapon unless I had a backup one as well. I've also got a torch. Can't remember what AS stands for, but it basically means you can have as many items as you want of that type. So as many AS items as I would like. You may discard this card to reveal both dungeon cards and then choose which one to resolve. So you can only get to do it once, but it is quite a powerful option to use. And my skill is parry. I can use this to attempt to block all initial damage. When an enemy when you first encounter an enemy, it gets to attack you. It gets to do some initial damage before you get to attack it back. And this card gives me the ability to block that. But if you roll a dice, if I roll a 1, then I fail and the primary weapon breaks, and you have to roll a 5 or a 6 in order to successfully avoid that damage. Alright, I mean, is that it? That's basically it. I need to decide what additional items to buy. And I think I'd already done this. Last time I bought the dagger and the rations. And I think I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to spend all my gold. I haven't put gold over here. So all my gold has already gone, my 3 gold. And I'm getting myself a dagger and some additional rations. Well, so the rations discard immediately and gain 2 additional rations. So I'll do that. I'm using these yellow cubes to track rations, these blue cubes to track my energy, dice for the health, and that is basically it. I think it's probably time to start. Oh, this over here tracks the level that I'm on. This tracks your morality. You get to make decisions during the game, and based upon what you do, your morality might go up or down. Right, that's all said and done. Let's crack on. Here we go. First card is an ambush. You catch your foe by surprise and gain the upper hand. Draw an enemy card and ignore their initial damage. Add the dungeon level to their health. So do you know what I mean? Basically, if you draw an ambush card on your first card, it means that you've ambushed them essentially. Now I could look at this, which could be something cool. I'm going to miss out on this level now, but it could just be another ambush card, or the other fighting card is a skirmish card. So I'm tempted to say I should probably just do the ambush and fight whoever's there. There you go, just a little goblin. And we're ignoring his initial damage that he would ordinarily do to us. He's got 2 health plus 1. It says here, add the dungeon level. Now we're on dungeon level 1. So he's got 3 health. If I defeat him, I get 1 gold and 1 loot item. And he has a base damage of 1. So he'd be doing me at least 1 damage if I fail to kill him. I'm going to use 1 energy to roll 1 dice and hope that I roll a 3. 4. Boom. So the goblin is defeated. I'm going to keep the goblin over here because the element types, I guess they're called. There's also poison and something else, and these are what dictate which boss you fight at the end. So if I encounter a majority of enemies who are susceptible to cold, ice, whatever, then I would face the boss associated with that icon. I think, something like that. But cool, so that's nice to have killed someone immediately. I'm going to get 1 gold. And 1 loot item. What have we got here? Ooh, Cinderblade. If I encountered there's like a wandering salesperson. That's not the word that's used. But there's someone who you can buy stuff from in the game, and if I encountered this in their shop, it would cost me 5 gold to buy. So it's pretty sweet that I've just found it on this goblin here. Attack results of 6 deal 7 damage plus 3 to the sum of your damage versus enemies weak to fire. So that's pretty sweet. So I've got 2 spare weapons, which means I'm much more inclined to throw my axe to do mega damage. Yeah. Or use my parry ability, that's pretty sweet actually. I mean, at this point, it's tempting to say that I could switch in my rubbishy dagger and then just parry all day without fear of losing a nice weapon. The downside of the dagger is that I must re-roll results with a 6 when a dagger is used as the primary weapon. So that is a bit of a downside. Let's see how we go. Because we're only on the first dungeon level, it means we're not going to be adding huge numbers, hopefully, onto the enemies, which means that, fingers crossed, they're not going to be too bad to kill. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, that's the ambush. Done. Let's go on to the next card. A clearing. Cool. Anything can happen in a clearing. Draw a plot card. So I said at the end of a level you always draw a plot card, but you also draw a plot card in a clearing. So this is, good or bad, at least going to progress us towards the end of the game. You hear a moaning sound from the shadows and discover a lost old woman. She is frail and mutters on about losing something in the darkness. So I've got 2 options here. I could help her escape. Did I say escape? I could help her escape. You spend a good deal of time working your way back out of the dungeon with the woman. Soon you're at the entrance and she turns to you and blesses you before leaving. I would lose a ration and an energy, but gain a blessing token and move up 1 on the morality track, which might help me in the future. Or I could just leave her, move down 1 on the morality track and gain 1 random treasure card. Or I don't really want to lose my only ration. No, wait a minute, I've got 3 rations. Do you know what? At this point in the game, I've got loads of energy, loads of rations. Let's help her. Let's help the old woman. So I'm going to lose a ration. I'm going to lose an energy, but I'm going to gain a blessing token, and these can help you when you face the final boss. And I'm going to move up on the morality track, which can't be a bad thing, can it? I think some cards will be like, hey, if you've got plus morality, something good will happen. Right. On to the next one. Skirmish. So I have to do a battle, draw an enemy card, add the dungeon level and 2. So I could risk drawing another card, but it could be another skirmish, it could be an ambush, but things have gone well so far. So I'm going to maybe think that possibly this dungeon's going well and look at the other card. Ooh, that's appalling news. Damn. So I found a labyrinth. And when you encounter one of these cards as the second card, you have to do this 2 section. If I encountered it first, I would have done the 1 section. Drat, you cannot seem to find your way out. Discard 2 rations. Lose 3 health for each ration you cannot discard. So I've lost all 3 of my rations very, very quickly there. I mean, that is a bit of a disaster. But there's no time to hang around feeling sorry for myself. Let's see what's going to come next. Treasure. Gain 1 gold. Cool. Alright, I'll take a gold. And the merchant. There you go. Not a salesperson, a merchant. Deep in the dungeon seems like a strange place to set up a shop, but who are you to question his sanity? You may make a purchase from the merchant. So I'm going to draw 1 loot and 1 potion card, and I can optionally buy those items if I want. We've got an explorer's map and a spark bomb. So the explorer's map, ironically, is lose 1 less ration when lost in the labyrinth. That would have been nice, wouldn't it? And the spark bomb, you may discard this card to deal 2d6 damage and +5 to foes weak versus fire. So let's have that. I think I'm alright for my weight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I've got loads. I can carry 11 worth of stuff. Right, and I'm not going to buy the explorer's map. That's going to cost me 1 gold. Thank you, merchant. I appreciate you setting up your shop in such a weird, unexpected place. Another ambush. Interesting. Okay. Well, as we did last time, I think I'm just going to risk it. So who's our next enemy? An undead archer. You may not defend against initial damage. But because I ambush him, they don't get to do their initial damage, which is pretty sweet. So his health is going to be 4 plus the dungeon level, which is 1, giving him a total of 5 health. Rightio, so I'm going to attack him. I think I'm going to use 2. Hang on. No, I was just thinking, or should I use the parry ability? But I think against such a unimposing enemy, famous last words, I'm not going to use my parry and risk my weapon. But maybe I should, because it's only a dagger. I've got 2 spare weapons. Okay, I'm going to parry. Oh no, sorry. Right, I'm being a bit slow here. Parry prevents initial damage, and the ambush card is already preventing the initial damage. Okay, move on. I'm going to use 2 energy to roll 2 dice to hopefully score 5 hit points. Or, alternatively, 12. That'll do it, won't it? So the undead archer is even more undead? Or just dead? He's dead now, not undead. And he's getting me 1 loot and 1 gold. Hey, look at that. That's tremendous news. Good, good, good. So he's getting me a... Oh, there was me thinking... See, this is... There's a couple of things in this game that are a little confusing. So this is a ration. You may discard this card to regain 2 energy. Well, that's pretty cool. But is it the same as a ration that you have to discard at the end of a level to stop from starving? I don't know whether it is. I think this is a different kind of ration that has a different kind of ability, which is unfortunate. Because pretty soon we're going to get to the end of this level and I am going to go hungry. Skirmish. Do I risk the other card? I think I do. I think I risk the other card. Oh, it's an ambush. Which means their health is going to be a lot higher, unfortunately. What is it? We've got a zombie. Zombies do not inflict initial damage. Well, that's good. And they've only got a health of 2. So this is, I guess, one of the weaker enemies. To that we're adding the dungeon level plus 4, so we're adding 5, giving them a total health of 7. Right, okay, so I'm going to use 2 energy to roll 2 dice to hopefully do 7 damage. Ooh, that's not 7 damage. Takes him down to 3. Then they get an opportunity to attack me. And to be fair, this is the first time an enemy has attacked me in this game. So the way that works is we roll 2 dice, we work out the difference, and we add on their base attack value. The zombie's base attack value is 0. Oh, still pretty brutal though. So 5 and 1, the difference is 4, taking me down to 12 health. It's annoying. So I'm going to use one more energy. Oh, okay. Hopefully I don't roll a 1 or a 2. So this is me doing my counter attack. I've chosen to use 1 energy to roll 1 dice. Oh, that sucks. Okay. Zombie gets to attack me again. Oh, really, another 4? God damn. Right, take me down to 8 health. So that's how quickly this game can turn around. And I'm using 1 more energy to hopefully roll a 2. If I roll a 1 again, I'm going to be pretty peeved. 6 this time. Okay. Well, that zombie took out half my health. But at least I defeated him in the end. He's giving me 1 loot card. Oh, it's the Iron Helm. That's cool. Awesome. Subtract 1 from both initial damage and counter strikes. Wicked. So I'm equipping that straight away. These, because that says that's your primary hand. This AS means you can equip as many of them as you want, or carry as many of them as you want. And then this one says HD, which I guess stands for head. I'm just going to check my weight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm still doing all right. I'm still doing all right because I can carry up to 11. I think I'm going to use my ration to regain 2 energy. And actually, do you know what? I'm also going to use my torch, which allows me to reveal both of these cards at once and choose which one I want to use. Oh, do I want to skirmish or do I want the skirmish? It's still good because if I'd have drawn a skirmish, I might have been tempted to check out the other card, which would have led to the worst kind of skirmish. But at least this way, I know that I'm just dealing with a skirmish, not a bad skirmish. Oh, it could be a bad skirmish. Consuming mass. These guys are lame. Not only do they have a base health of 7, they do an attack of 3, and if I roll more than 2 1s during an attack, it absorbs my weapon, takes my weapon away. I mean, I'm tempted to throw my axe at it, if I'm honest. I may yet do that, but I do need to first, I am going to make the decision to parry. So I'm going to try and parry the initial attack of the consuming mass. Oh, well, let's work out his health first. 7, 8, 9, 10. 7 from there. It says add 2 plus dungeon level on here, giving us a total of 10. Let's try and parry. Success on a 5 or a 6. 5! Yay! Awesome. So the consuming mass is not doing any initial damage. So I think I'm going to start by straight away using my... Am I going to use my spark bomb? Or my axe? I think I'm going to use the spark bomb. So I can do 2d6 worth of damage using that. Oh, that's not that high. Disappointing. Takes me down to 4. and then I'm going to do my attack. And I'm going to, even though... Am I going to use 2 energy? I don't know. I think I'm going to use 1 energy to roll 1 dice to hopefully kill the consuming mass. Curses. Alright, which means they do get to do a counter attack. So I roll 2 dice. Oh, that's the worst thing you can roll. I think that's killed me. Ah, okay, so the difference between that is 5 and adding on 3, 6, 7, 8. I only have 8 health. Oh, my Iron Helm. Subtract 1 from counter strikes. So they're doing me 7 damage, taking me down to a total of 1. My goodness. Okay, I'm going to spend 1 energy to roll 1 dice. Hopefully I don't roll a 1. If I roll a 1, then I will die. 2. Blimey. Consuming mass defeated. And because I've got a 2 here, that means I get to draw a loot and a potion. Hopefully it's a health potion. I've got a cookbook and an antidote. Rubbish. Antidote sorts out poison, which I don't have. Cookbook gives you an extra energy when you eat a ration at a campsite. Well, okay. So we're at the end of the level. End of the level, we shuffle the dungeon deck. We advance this track up by 1. Oh, we have to use 1 ration, and if I don't have a ration, I lose 3 health. I've only got 1 health, which means actually I have died. Well, there you go. My second attempt at an on-camera playthrough, and once again I didn't get through the first level alive. Never mind, it's only going to make me more determined to actually succeed on camera. Maybe I never will, but I've got 3 other characters here. Actually I've got 4 because I've already printed out and made one of the expansions. So I think when I beat the game, when I won, I was playing with Zola. So maybe next time I'll play with Zola, if I remember. But for Moliclan, his adventure is over. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments below if this is a game you are a fan of, and maybe let me know if I made some kind of tactical errors during that, which meant that my demise was more likely. Yeah, thanks very much for watching. I've been the Lone Adventurer. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.